Welcome to our lecture online. Here we're going to talk about the atmospheric window. One of the key features of making life possible on the Earth is keeping the Earth at the right temperature. And it turns out that the combination of the greenhouse gases and the atmospheric window does just that. Well, let's take a look. Let's assume there were no greenhouse gases. And by the way, which are the greenhouse gases? Well, we have water vapor, carbon dioxide, ozone, methane, and nitrous oxide are the 5 leading greenhouse gases. By far the most important of those 5 is water vapor, which prevents a lot of the radiation that normally would get back into space. Well, it prevents it from doing so, and that's exactly what greenhouse gases do. They keep some of the heat that otherwise would escape to space and cause the Earth to cool down too much. It holds that heat back and keeps the temperature of the atmosphere relatively comfortable. Without those greenhouse gases, temperatures would plummet to an average of minus 18 degrees Celsius, which is about 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Instead, with the greenhouse gases that are in the atmosphere currently, the average temperature of the world is 15 degrees Celsius. That's 33 degrees Celsius warmer than it would be without those greenhouse gases, or an average temperature of 59 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, that's the average day and night around the entire world, including the deserts, the regions around the equator, the polar regions, all averaged together 59 degrees Fahrenheit or 15 degrees Celsius, which is a very comfortable temperature for life. How does it do that? Well, it turns out that the molecules of the various greenhouse gases, they're able to vibrate at specific frequencies. And so if the radiation leaving the Earth matches those frequencies that the molecules can vibrate of those greenhouse gases, it will simply absorb that energy. And that's exactly what happens in these regions, this region right here, this region over here, and this region over here. The rest of it, the greenhouse gases are not capable of absorbing that energy, so that energy goes right back into space, and there seems to be a very nice balance between them. Notice that water vapor will hold back all this energy right here and a big portion of this energy right here. The remainder of this energy is taken up by carbon dioxide, so there's an overlap here between what water vapor and carbon dioxide does. Over here we have this small little thin region that's held back by ozone, O3 molecules. And then here we have again a large portion of this radiation, which is held back by water vapor, and some of it is held back by methane and nitrous oxide. So there's an overlap here between water vapor and methane and nitrous oxide. And then over here we have another band that's held back by carbon dioxide. Now the chart here is a little bit misleading because to the left we have shorter wavelengths, therefore the energy is greater per photon that leaves the Earth's surface. So this energy being held back is more important because it's more energetic than this energy right here. But again, you can see that by and large, water vapor is the most important greenhouse gas, and that is what keeps the Earth at a very comfortable temperature with the help of carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide. Now, of course, there's some controversy here whether or not adding more carbon dioxide and methane will increase holding back additional energy. And by and large, it will to some extent, but maybe not as much as what is believed, because as you can see, this band, which carbon dioxide is able to absorb, is already completely absorbed, and carbon dioxide cannot absorb it anymore because it's 100% absorbed. And over here, the same thing. All of this is already held back by the carbon dioxide. And much of the region right here is held back by methane, nitrous oxide, and water vapor. So there's a little bit more that methane and nitrous oxide could do, but again, that would require a great increase in those gases and a lot more than we're currently seeing. So yes, there will be some impact, but the impact perhaps would not be quite as severe as some may try to express. So again, going back to this window, this is the window that is free to escape back to space, and that window can be virtually not be touched by any of the greenhouse gases because those molecules simply cannot vibrate at the frequencies required to hold back this energy. So this energy goes back into space, and there's virtually nothing except for the ozone that is able to hold that back. So that's why we have this perfect thermostat where enough is being held back by keeping the and therefore keeping the Earth nice and comfortable, and enough it's going back into space so it doesn't get too hot. So it kind of provides a world where it's not too hot and not too cold because of that, what we call atmospheric window, which is going to be able to allow heat to escape back into space unhindered, regardless of what other gases we place into the atmosphere. And that is why we can exist on this very nice, comfortable world with this perfect thermostat called the atmospheric window.